Sean Diddy Combs.
Sean Diddy Combs. Sean Diddy Combs.
Sean Diddy Combs.
The music mogul who once traveled by private jet to all those mansions is now in a jail that is notorious for its bad living conditions.
The hip-hop mogul is said to be under watch for his own safety at the Metropolitan Detention Center in New York City.
It's so out of control inside that 4 federal judges are reportedly refusing to send any more prisoners here.
Blue details have emerged about Diddy's time in prison, raising concerns about his safety behind bars. Is he in danger while serving time? The prison where he's being held is known for its horrifying conditions, and former inmates have shared terrifying experiences from their time there. Could Diddy be facing more than just legal battles? Join us as we talk about FBI confirms, is Diddy safe in MDC Brooklyn prison? Diddy was sent to the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, a federal jail notorious for its poor conditions and dangerous environment. This situation has raised an important question. Is Diddy safe in prison? The concern isn't just about his high-profile status. It's about the place where he's being held. MDC Brooklyn has been described by critics as a hell on earth, a facility plagued with fierceness, neglect, and overcrowding. These issues make it one of the most unsafe places for any inmate, especially someone like Diddy, whose fame could make him a target. In case you don't know, MDC Brooklyn has a long history of problems. Opened to the early 1990s, the only federal jail in New York City, and houses detailing needs awaiting trial in federal courts, as well as others serving short sentences. Since its opening, the facility has been repeatedly criticized for its dangerous and unsanitary conditions. One of the most alarming issues at MDC is the rampant violence. Inmates have reported frequent fights, stabbings, and assaults. Just this year, 2 men lost their lives in FIS altercations inside the jail. One was stabbed to death, the other died from injuries sustained in a fight. These incidents show how dangerous it can be inside MDC, where overcrowding and the lack of staff contribute to an environment where fierceness is difficult to control. The facility has also been home to several high-profile inmates in the past, such as R. Kelly and Jaimin Maxwell. While Diddy isn't the first famous figure over there, high-profile inmates are often targeted by other prisoners, either out of jealousy, desire for notoriety, or a simple power play. For someone like Diddy, who has spent decades in the public eye, this risk cannot be ignored. Another major issue that makes MDC unsafe is overcrowded. The facility was built to hold around 1,200 dunes, but at times it is housed far more than that, creating a strain on resources and staff. As of living conditions, recently the population was down to about 1,200. But the facility's past of overcrowding still haunts its operations. Compounding the problem is a severe shortage of staff. According to reports, MDC Brooklyn has been operating at only 55% of its full staffing capacity. This shortage affects not only security, but also the well-being of inmates, with fewer guards and staff members available to monitor and protect prisoners. The risk of ferocity increases, and basic needs such as medical care and food distribution are often delayed. Deets have complained about being left in their CES for long periods due to frequent lockdowns, with limited access to showers, phone calls, or outdoor recreation. This isolation can lead to increased tensions among inmates, further contributing to the unsafe atmosphere. Moreover, living conditions at MDC Brooklyn have long been a subject of controversy. In 2019, the jail made headlines when a week-long power outage left over 1,600 inmates without heat and freezing temperatures. Inmates were left shivering in their CES, unable to communicate with their lawyers or families. This incident drew attention to the crumbling infrastructure of the facility, which has struggled to maintain basic services for its detainees. The poor sanitation at MDC is another major concern. Inmates have reported filthy seals, with rodents and cockroaches being common problems. Access medical care is also limited, with reports of long delays in receiving treatment. For someone like Diddy, who was accustomed to a certain standard of living, these conditions would be a shock to the system. But beyond the discomfort, the unsanitary conditions could pose serious health risks, especially in an overcrowded and understaffed facility. Additionally, the COVID-19 pandemic exposed even more flaws in the system. MDC was the first federal jail to report a positive COVID-19 case in March 2020, and the facility struggled to contain the virus due to its overcrowded conditions and of proper medical resources. Diddy is being housed in a special unit of MDC that offers extra protection. This area is designed for high-profile inmates and those who need to be kept away from the general population for their own safety. While this may reduce some of the immediate dangers he could face from other inmates, it doesn't guarantee his safety. The special unit is still part of the general population, meaning that while Diddy may have more security than the average inmate, he is not completely isolated from the dangers of prison life. The unit is small, holding around 20 inmates, and is reportedly cramped, and uncomfortable inmates in this unit don't have access to common areas like the cafeteria, which can be seen as a positive in terms of safety. But it also means further isolation. While Diddy may be dealing with poor sanitation and the medical care and limited access to outside communication, what about his cellmates? Did you know he's actually sharing his cell with another very famous figure? Let's uncover the truth. Who's sharing cell with Diddy? Well, Diddy is sharing his cell with Sam Bankman-Fried, the once celebrated founder of the cryptocurrency exchange FTX. In case you guys don't know about who's sharing cell with Diddy, he was once billionaire known for building FTX, a cryptocurrency platform that was valued at over $30 billion at its peak. He was seen as a major figure in the world of finance, and his rapid rise to success made him one of the most talked about entrepreneur of his time. Life in MDC has been hard for Bankman-Fried. As well, his lawyers have complained that he doesn't have proper access to computers to prepare for his defense, which is critical in such a complex financial cases. Someone who follows a vegan diet, his food choices in prison have been extremely limited. He has reportedly been surviving on just bread, water, and peanut butter, making his time even more challenging. Despite these concerns, the judge has refused to grant him better conditions. Now both Diddy and Bankman free to living in the same dormitory at NBC, where a YouTuber, Tiffany Fong, has been deeply analyzing the condition of Diddy in jail. She shared some interesting details about his living condition. However, his fall from grace has been just as dramatic in 2022. FTX collapsed in a massive financial scandal. The company was accused of mishandling billions of dollars, leading to its bankruptcy. Bankman-Fried himself became the central figure in the scandal, facing accusations of fraud and mismanagement. Things got worse for him when he was accused of leaking personal writings from his former employee and ex-girlfriend to the media in an attempt to influence his case. Because of this, a judge revoked his bail in August 2023, sending him to MDC to await trial. Sam's favorite game on the tablet is called Shattered Pixel Gungi, which sounds like the Adventure D. He's also known to enjoy listening to music, with Taylor Swift being one of his top. Diddy's favorite game choices. Life in for North isn't all fun and games, though. Despite some of the extra privileges, the union has its challenges. Privacy is one of the biggest issues. The bathroom and shower areas are not enclosed, according to her. Both DBBY and Bankman-Fried are housed in a special unit called Duford North. This unit is designed for high-profile inmates, or those who might need extra protection, such as cooperators who could be at risk in the general population. For North is a relatively small unit, housing about 18 to 20 inmates at a time. Unlike the typical image of prison cells with bunk beards stacked on top of each other, Ford North has a dormitory-style setup. This means the beads are laid out side by side, giving it a more open feel. The unit also comes with a few perks compared to the harsher conditions of other parts of the prison. For example, inmates in Ford North have access to gym equipment to work out, and they can play various games to pass the time. One of the games that has become popular in the unit is ping pong. In fact, it's said that Sam's experience of a gang member, Bankman-Fried, is quite good at it, and he plays a lot. The inmates also enjoy playing card games, with spades being a favorite among them. Additionally, each inmate has access to a tablet, although these tablets are not connected to the Internet, they'll offer entertainment in the form of games, movies, and TV shows. Experience of a gang member in the same prison. Tiffany conducted an interview with Glock, who spent some time in the MDC. When asked about what Diddy's experience might be like, Glock speculated that Diddy, both being wealthy and high profile, might stick together with Beam and FR, since both have significant financial resources and come from influential backgrounds. It's possible they will find common ground and form a bond while in the unit. Tiffany also brought up the topic of safety and whether anyone in the unit should be concerned about inappropriate things. Given the nature of the charges against Diddy, however, Glock reassured that such things aren't common in MDC, at least not during this time there. However, Glock raised concerns about strange behavior among some inmates, suggesting that a few may have been involved in questionable actions behind the scenes. He recounted an incident where a transgender inmate from Texas caused some tension in the unit by behaving inappropriately toward another inmate. While such behavior raised eyebrows, Glock assured that the open setup of Board North prevents secretive, inappropriate behavior. The openness of the dormitory-style arrangement makes it hard for anyone to act out without being noticed by the others in the unit, meaning there's little privacy for the inmates. The only thing separating them from others is a flimsy shower curtain, and it's said that both fellow inmates and officers can hear everything that happens in the bathroom. This lack of privacy can make the living conditions uncomfortable, especially in a place like prison where personal space is already limited. According to Tiffany, bartering is another common practice in Fort North. Since inmates don't have much access to money or other luxuries, they trade commissary items to get what they need. For example, Sam reportedly paid for a haircut by giving another inmate packs of mackerel, which are known as Mac. Inside the Inside Secrets prison, mail and other commissary items become valuable coney within the unit, and inmates use them to trade for different services or goods. A person who has stayed in the prison can provide a more detailed explanation of the situation. There they would know the inside stories and rules right well. Someone has shared some inside secrets about the prison. Let's discuss it. Moreover, Glock also described how inmates have to maintain a certain level of respect even among high-profile individuals. For instance, he shared that while Diddy might be a powerful figure outside, wouldn't be allowed to act inappropriately or get carried away without consequences. If Diddy or any other inmate steps out of line or starts feeling too important, there's chance they could face retaliation from other inmates. When asked about how the guards treat high-profile inmates, Glock mentioned that while the guards may have personal reactions to celebrities, they generally treat them the same as everyone else. He also shares light on the prison meals, detailing how 2 days are special because they serve chicken patties, a meal inmates eagerly look forward to. However, Fridays when they serve fish patties are described as being particularly awful. He mentions that the meals are repetitive and often not the best in quality. Additionally, the conversation turns to the smuggling of contraband like substance use and phones. Isolation. Glock reveals that such things do make their way into the prison, often through visiting family members or even corrupt officers. With Diddy's wealth, Glock speculates that he could easily bribe an officer to bring in phones or other items, as many officers in the system are tempted by the quick cash. The worst thing about the prison is that inmates have to cope with severe isolation, a lack of proper medical care, and filthy living spaces. Glock recalls how many inmates, including himself, faced issues with getting basic medical attention. For example, he struggled to receive a new inhaler for his asthma in a timely manner, which could have put his health at risk on a mental and emotional level. Prison life takes a heavy toll. Glock describes how inmates must endure a limited number of minutes for phone calls each month, making it hard to stay connected to loved ones. Additionally, email communication is slow, often taking hours for messages to go through. Adding through the isolation, Glock highlights that suicide watch is common for inmates facing long sentences or high-profile cases. He mentions how Diddy was reportedly placed on suicide watch when he entered MDC Brooklyn, although it is unclear if this is standard procedure or based on a genuine concern for his mental state. Inmates on suicide watch are stripped naked, constantly monitored and deprived of any sense of privacy, while Glock's account paints a vivid picture of how life inside MDC is a mentally and physically grueling experience. The next question arises: how long does Diddy have to stay in prison? Let's reveal it. How long will Diddy stay in the prison? The situation is tough for Diddy, as he has to stay in jail until at least May 5th, 2025, when his trial for inappropriate accusations is set to begin. This means he'll be spending more than 6 months in the NBC, despite being a high-profile fighter, been having a luxurious lifestyle before. It's hard to imagine someone like Diddy having to live under such harsh circumstances. His lawyers have tried multiple times to get him out on bail, but judges have denied these requests, citing concerns that Diddy could tamper with witnesses or obstruct the ongoing investigation. However, the trial is expected to cover a lot of ground, including evidence that has been seized from Diddy's homes and other properties. In case you don't know, prosecutors have taken 96 electronic devices from Diddy's residences in Miami and Los Angeles, as well as from a private airport in Florida. These devices hold a huge amount of data, with 8 of them containing over 90 terabytes of information. Due to the massive amount of evidence, there have been delays in analyzing it, but prosecutors argue this data is crucial to the case. Diddy's defense team has been working hard to discredit some of the evidence, arguing that there were leaks from the government. However, the judge has asked both sides to follow strict rules about keeping case details confidential to ensure a fair trial. Well, did you know that Diddy recently became active on social media and posted something? What was it? What was it about? Let's uncover it. Diddy's latest Instagram post. Diddy recently posted on Instagram to celebrate his youngest daughter, Lovecom's 2nd birthday on October 15th. We must say that this joyful moment was likely a welcome relief for him, who has been dealing with serious legal troubles. Recently, multiple lawsuits had been filed against him, with allegations of inappropriate misconduct going back to 1998. The lawsuits include claims from both men and women who say they were not treated right, some during Diddy's well-known white parties from years ago. Moreover, federal prosecutors have accused Diddy of creating a criminal operation where he allegedly used threats, inappropriate activities, and manipulation to control women and others for his inner satisfaction, protect his image, and cover up his actions. They claim he used his fame, substance, and illegal ways to lure women into long and intense inappropriate encounters, referred to as freak-offs, during searches of his homes in Miami and Los Angeles. In March, authorities reportedly found weapons in over 1,000 bottles of lubricant. Prosecutors have spoken with witnesses who worked for Diddy, as well as some of the women suing her, and they may bring additional charges. New details have emerged about latest developments. Diddy and his recent court appearance, as many are concerned about what kind of punishment he might receive and how his judge and lawyers are handling the situation. Is Diddy facing more than just a trial? All latest developments in Diddy's case. In the latest development of Diddy's legal troubles, a trial date has been set for May 5th, 2025 in his ongoing disturbing case. During a court appearance in Manhattan federal court, prosecutors and defense lawyers clashed over key issues, including the potential suppression of evidence and the possibility of new charges being added to the case. He appeared in court on the 10th of October before Judge Arun Subramanian, who will preside over the trial. The hearing marked a significant moment, with Diddy's family, including his mother and children, present in the courtroom to support him. The hearing was more than just a routine check, as it shared light on some of the major elements of the case and what both sides are giving up for. And months ahead, it also offered a glimpse into Diddy's demeanor as the case progressed. Unlike previous appearances, where he was described as more reserved, Diddy was notably more engaged and animated. This time around, he arrived in court wearing a beige jail jumpsuit, showing signs of being involved in discussions with his lawyers. At one point, he exchanged whispers with his attorney as the prosecutor spoke about the large volume of electronic evidence seized from his properties. A major part of the hearing was dedicated to discussing the evidence that the government has gathered against Combs. The prosecution revealed that a total of 96 Electronic devices were seized in raids conducted earlier this year. These raids took place at Diddy's residences in Miami and Los Angeles, as well as at a private airport in Florida. In addition, another 4 devices were taken when Diddy was arrested in September. Prosecutors highlighted the sheer volume of data collected from these devices. According to them, just 8 of the dev peers seized in Miami contained over 90 terabit of information,